going to use Leonardo da Vinci's famous painting Mona Lisa as our inspiration to make our very own self-portraits in the same kind of pose as Mona Lisa. So we're going to take a closer look at that painting, and then we're going to get started trying to look at all the details on our face to try and make a self-portrait of you that looks like you. Let's get started.
We are going to learn about one of the most famous works of art in all of history. Here it is. What is this painting called? The Mona Lisa. This video is all about the Mona Lisa. The Mona Lisa is a painting from the Renaissance period in Italy. The Renaissance period was an amazing time for the arts, science, and culture in Europe. It was painted by someone you may have heard of. His name was Leonardo da Vinci. Here is a portrait that Leonardo da Vinci made of himself. Yeah. Leonardo da Vinci was an incredible inventor, scientist, and artist. He kind of did it all. He was like the Renaissance champion. Hey, look at this. Here is a statue of Leonardo da Vinci. He painted the Mona Lisa sometime in the early 1500s. That was a long time ago. Alright, so this guy, Leonardo da Vinci, painted this amazing work of art, the Mona Lisa, and it happened during a special time known as the Renaissance. Now, you may have guessed this, but the Mona Lisa is a portrait of a real person. Her name was Lisa del Giocondo. Her husband commissioned the painting. Leonardo da Vinci never got paid for the Mona Lisa and didn't finish the painting until years later when he was living in France. It has remained in France since then, and today is owned by the country of France. So the Mona Lisa will never be sold and remains one of the greatest art treasures in the world. Ready for some wonderful news? You can go see the Mona Lisa. That's right. It is kept in a museum called Le Louvre. Can you say that? It's French. It's a little tricky. Le Louvre. It now has its own room, and they make sure it stays safe. You see, something happened to the Mona Lisa back in 1911. That was over 100 years ago. Someone who worked at the museum at Le Louvre stole the Mona Lisa. Stole it. He took the Mona Lisa, hid it in his coat, and left. People were outraged. Here is a picture of what the wall looked like without the Mona Lisa. The wall is so sad with that gap. Oh my goodness. Thankfully, the thief was caught, and after 2 years of being missing, the Mona Lisa was back at Le Louvre. Everyone was so excited that the Mona Lisa was back, and that made the Mona Lisa even more famous. There is so much about this painting to love. One thing that people often notice about the Mona Lisa is that smile of hers. She looks happy. It's just a shame that Lisa del Giocondo never saw what the painting finally looked like. She probably would have liked it. We want to share one more fact about Leonardo da Vinci's masterpiece. Did you know the Mona Lisa was painted on a wooden panel? That's right, a wooden panel. That means the thief was hiding a panel of wood in his coat. The Mona Lisa, probably the most famous painting in history, was painted on a wooden panel. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Look at that wooden panel. It's nice, but it isn't the Mona Lisa. Let's be honest, okay? It's not the Mona Lisa.
So to draw our self-portrait, we're gonna need a piece of paper, we're gonna need a pencil, and like I said, if you have a mirror that you can use to look at. So I'm gonna take this mirror and I'm gonna prop it up right in front of me so I can look in it. Wow, I am drawing myself. Now to start my self-portrait, I'm gonna start with the shape of my head. And my head is like a circle or an oval, so I'm gonna make a nice big oval right in the middle of my paper. Now, the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add my eyes. Lots of times we think our eyes are at the top of our head, but if we look in that mirror, we're gonna see our eyes are actually in the middle of our head. And I'm gonna start to make 2 lines, one for each eye, and I'm gonna make my line like a rainbow. So I'm gonna put a rainbow on one side, and then rainbow on the other side. And now I'm gonna make the line that is underneath the top of my eye. And that's gonna be a curvy line also, but it's gonna go the other way. So I'm gonna start at one corner of my rainbow and do a curve that curves the other way. This line is sort of like the curve of a smile. So it goes down and over. Now, inside my eye, I'm gonna look in that mirror and I'm gonna see how I have a big circle in my eye. It's called the iris. That is the part that's going to be colored. My eyes are colored brown, but we're not gonna color yet. Then I'm gonna make a big circle in one eye and a circle in the other eye. Now, if we look real close in the mirror, you can see that there's a little circle inside the big circle, and that is the pupil. And that is the black center inside our eye. Now, I got the main part of my eyes done, but I'm gonna go look at some details now. When I look at my eyes, I see my eyes have an eyelid. So I'm gonna make a line that goes right above my eye, and that's my eyelid. I'm gonna do one on the other side also. Now, the next part of my eye that I'm gonna do is I say I have some eyelashes. So I'm gonna look and see the eyelashes. Some of them come at the top of my eye. Now, they're not coming at the eyelid, they're coming at the top line. And I have some at the bottom line also. And then I'm gonna do my eyelashes on the other side of my eye, because my eyes are the same on both sides. They're symmetrical, the same on both sides. Now, the last thing I'm gonna add to my eye are my eyebrows. My eyebrows are little lines that are right above my eye. They're just little curvy lines. Now, I did my eyes, and I'm gonna go down and do my nose. My nose is right below my eye, in between my 2 eyes, and down below them. I'm gonna start by using the letter U to make my nose. Now, if you might have a different way you wanna do your nose, and that's okay, but it also would be fun to try the way I'm gonna show you. So I'm gonna do a big U, and now I'm gonna make my nostrils. I'm gonna use a little U next to my big U, one on each side. Now that can be your nose. You can stop right there. Or sometimes you can add a line that comes up from the big U and goes up to your eyebrows. So, and if you don't like that after you do it, that's okay, because we're using pencils, so you can erase the line if you want to erase it. Now I'm gonna go and I'm gonna add my mouth. So look in that mirror and I want you to make some faces at yourself. Make a smiling face, make a sad face, make a mad face, make a silly face. Think about all the different faces that you can make, and you show your expressions with your mouth. Your mouth is really important to helping to show how we feel. So I'm gonna make myself have a happy face. So I'm gonna start with the line that I see my top lip is doing, and that's a curvy line. And now I see my bottom lip, and that's gonna be a curvy line too, and it's gonna connect to my top lip. Now I can add that other line, because I do see on top of my top lip, there's actually another line there, so we can put that in. And we can add the little line that goes below that bottom lip too. So we actually have 2 lines for my top lip, the top and the bottom of the top lip. 2 lines for my bottom lip, the top and the bottom for my bottom lip. I know that's a little confusing. Now when I'm smiling, I see my teeth inside my mouth. So I'm gonna start with some little squares or rectangles to show my teeth. Now you might. So those teeth are squares and rectangles, and if you don't have a tooth, you've lost a tooth, you're missing a tooth, just don't put it in there. And if you don't want to draw teeth at all, just draw your mouth closed. And then you don't have to put your teeth in there. But it's kind of fun to draw teeth. Now, after I get that part of my face done, I'm going to do my ears. So I'm going to have one ear on either side of my head. And my ear is just going to be like the letter C. See, there's the letter C. And I just put that on the side of my head. I'm going to erase that now. And I'm going to put a letter C on the other side of my head. And now I don't want my head just floating on the paper, so I'm gonna add a neck. So I'm gonna put two vertical lines, and they're gonna come down from either side of my head. I don't want them to be too skinny and I don't want it to be too wide, but that's okay. However you do it is going to look fabulous. So there is my neck. Now the last thing I'm gonna do is my hair. Now some of us have short hair, some of us have long hair, some of us have curly hair, some of us have straight hair, some of us have bangs, some of us have ponytails. We have all different kinds of hair. But whether your hair is short or long, you are going to have a little bit of a line that comes down at the front of your head. So if your hair is short, that may be all that you have. If your hair is long, you're gonna keep that line, and you might want to erase a little bit right above your ears over there. So like mine, I'm gonna do my curly hair now, coming out that way. And that's gonna be my curly hair. If you wanted to add a ponytail, you could put a little ponytail on the top of your head. Okay, if you wanted to add anything else to your hair, you could add anything else. If you want to make yourself wearing a hat, you can make yourself wearing a hat. If you want to put glasses on yourself, you might want to take a shape for glasses and it's going to go right in front of your eyes. Okay, and you can show yourself wearing your glasses. Okay, so you want to think about all the different things that you might want to add to your picture, the details to make it look like you. And then next week, we're going to be working on adding some color to these and outlining them with a marker or a Sharpie. So those of you at home, you've got 2 weeks to work on this and have a lot of fun. And make sure you send me a picture when you guys are done.